to me, it's really judged for 360 million. Yankees say we can't take a step back. We need our guy. We need our offensive, spark plug. He's the captain of this team, hit 62, all those things. And we let Teo go. We make that trade on Teo.
How do you feel about that trade, Joel? I know this is long and far ago, it feels like now, but were you on board with the Teoscar trade?
Not one bit. Not one bit. I feel like,
and it's not that you have anything against Erik Swanson, right?
No, it has nothing to do about it. It has everything to do with, I want the guy who can hit the 3-run bomb 150 days out of the year. I don't want the 1-inning guy. Like, we need a good bullpen, but I'm not sacrificing the guy who's playing, who can give me 30 home runs, who can hit a 3-run bomb when we're down, bring us back in a game. Like, that is a rarity. His slugging percentage, 5th, 6th in slugging last year in the American League. You're giving up that for a guy who comes in when you're winning and holds a lead for 1 inning every 3 games. If you think that those things are the same value, no. And if you didn't think that you could get Teo to come back, which is just like, look at the history of Teo on this team. Teo was brought in from Houston as a 6th outfielder, minor league up and down type guy.
Yeah,
completely finds himself on this team. Completely finds himself as a major leaguer, as a guy who goes from making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to millions, to multiple millions, to signing a contract next year for potentially 100 million. If you don't think that that's a contract that you can sit down and say, hey, would you like to sign a 5-year, $100 million deal? If you're incapable of that deal, when the Yankees are capable of 9 years, $360 million, that guy is the happiest guy in baseball. That guy is smiling all the time. If you didn't sit down and believe that that guy doesn't want to play baseball for the Toronto Blue Jays and his best friends who he's hugging all the time, you can't lock that guy down. I don't know.
Adam, I can't wait to hear what you got to say.
Have I been doing the pee dance over here, holding my tongue? I can't. I got to push back on that after I just listened to both of you go on and on and on about how important a left-handed bat would be to this lineup. And now I'm hearing how great Teoscar's slugging percentage is and how amazing it would be to have that guy hit a 3-run shot to pull us into the lead. Like, where was that against Luis Castillo? Well, he wasn't a left-handed bat, so he wasn't able to do it. So, like, we can't have it both ways. We either need to make room and bring in a left-handed bat, or we don't, and we're going to move forward with Teoscar, because I do appreciate the stats and the production that he has accomplished. But he's in, like, this is his walk year for his contract. It is a decision of, is he our guy for the next 5 years or not? Or are we going to go in a different direction? Erik Swanson has 3 years left on his team control. There's real value in that. So I don't think it's quite an apples to apples comparison to say the value of Erik Swanson and what he's going to do for this team this year versus what Teoscar would have done this year. Like, it is a bigger picture than just that, I think. And I don't think we can evaluate this move until the rest of it is done.
And I agree with that.
I just cleaned out my office when my dad came to stay with me for a week. My office was a disaster, but the way I clean is I pull out all the junk and I put it into the hallway. And then I find a spot for it as I put it back and I put it away. But if my wife comes home while I've got all that crap out in the hallway and she's like, "Wow, what is this?" I'm like, you got to just wait till I'm actually done.
There's a process going on here.
There's a process here. And that's where we're at with this trade, where it's like, this trade doesn't look ideal. Like, what has Ross Atkins done? Mostly subtraction this year, this offseason, right? That is a frustrating spot to be in. But we've just moved all of our clutter out into the hallway. Stuff's got to go back in and find a place, and hopefully it looks good.
Joel, in this scenario, you're Adam's wife.
Well, it's scary because you put yourself in a position where you hope moves will be made and people will sign the contracts that you throw out there, right?
Yep.
So it's just like,
Back to the
if
Catan
Brandon
reference.
Nimmo
I'm
comes
hoping
in,
that Brick gets rolled. I'm really banking on a good roll here.
yeah, if Nimmo comes in and we shift Springer over, that looks great. You've brought your lefty in.
So let's stop on that for a second, Joel. Does that make you happy? Are you a little bit more or less critical of the Teoscar trade if it is Brandon Nimmo that winds up coming to the Blue Jays?
Yeah, Nimmo's a great center fielder, lefty, huge on base percentage, move Springer out of center field, which like Nimmo's 28, 29, so he's not like a 22-year-old spring chicken, a gazelle center fielder you can smash into the wall for the next 7 years. But I feel like you are much more comfortable with that over the next 5 years in center field than you are with you're going to have to move Springer. Springer can't, like, 1 year, what is he, 32, 33?
He turns
Like,
he's age 33 season this
going
year.
on 50, like he's he plays an amazing center field, but that's the problem. Playing an amazing center field at 32 doesn't allow you to play 160 games. It's any play that can happen.
Whether it's a Brandon Nimmo or a Lars Nootbaar or a Brian Reynolds, if there is a big move for an outfielder, a left-handed bat, good offensive,
which Reynolds would be nice as a switchy.
Yeah.
Would you just be like instantly okay with the Teoscar trade then, or would you still be like, no, I still kept him and gotten rid of Gurriel instead?
I still feel if you want to be competitive, the team has to make a move, a similar move with Bo going to second base. I feel like the offense that was lost in Teo going, I feel those like home runs, 35 home runs, especially in a down home run environment the way we had last year, unless you had Goldilocks balls coming at you 90% of the time. I don't know what
which we will get into, yes.
But in a situation like that, you've lost Simeon, his 45 home run season at second base 1 year, and then you lose Teoscar the next. That is a lot of home run pop to fall out of your lineup.
Sorry, just to clarify, because I know we're going to get roasted in the comments for this. You did say 35 home runs. He hit
Teoscar
25.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't. I just meant Teoscar's like a 35.
That's potential kind of thing. Okay.
Right. If he plays 150 games, he'll pop 35, 36. That's
yes. Okay.
You slug fifth in the league, you'll pop.
Sure. I'm just clarifying that. I'm not arguing. Let's clarify that before the trolls in the comments section call us idiots.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I prefer the term listeners, but yes.
Yeah. So you've lost potentially from 2 seasons ago, where Teo hit 36 and 140, something like that. Simeon hit 45.
32 home runs and 140, but yes.
That's a massive amount of home runs that you've lost out of your starting lineup over 2 seasons, right? So if you're going to lose Teo this year, which we've done, you're going to bring Nimmo in. Nimmo doesn't have close to Teo's power.
No, he'll hit 15 to 20 dingers for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So to compensate for that serious loss of power that you've had over 2 seasons,
you need Bo to hit 40.
Second base,
yeah.
Compensates for that, because you don't get so much home run pop out of second base between Santiago Espinal, Whit Merrifield, and Kevin Biggio. How many home runs did they hit? What, 17 maybe combined between the 3 of them?
Gabriel Moreno will hit 5 or 10 home runs from second base this year.
Sure. Hey, that's you want to talk about moving Gabby into the infield? I love that. I think we were
stay
talking
on topic,
about this,
but we could definitely get to that.
Yeah. So to me, to be happy with the moves of moving Teo out, losing Simeon, I think that's a lot of power that keeps you unbelievably competitive. So if that's going to happen, and you bring somebody like Nimmo in, cover that left-handed bat that you need, you still have to make a move on the infield to, like, a Dansby Swanson. You bring in Dansby Swanson and you're saying, we want to, the reason I'm mad about Teo leaving is because Swanson as a reliever over 3 years gives you 1.8 WAR from the reliever spot every year, and hey, he keeps you competitive with that 1 inning that he pitches. But Teo this year, winning this year now, right now, that's you're not you've given up something when it comes to win now. And if we shouldn't be a seller. Everybody is going into this offseason and this free agency. We're like, we gotta go more than we did last year. So to be at this point and we've done subtractions feels dirty. And to risk it on hopeful signings in the future is scary. So to not have done anything and to have hopes that things will magically play out the way you want them to, yikes.
When do we panic, Joel? Should we be panicking right now?
No, when we didn't get Jose Ramirez last year, that's what now
You're like I've been in a constant state of panic for a year, Scott. We really appreciate all of you within the walk-off community. This thing continues to grow and become an animal of its own. It's a little bit overwhelming, but honestly, we love talking Blue Jays baseball and all the interaction that you folks are involved with us. Thank you so much. Discord, feel free to join it. That is always free. The show or the link is in the show notes. You can follow us on Twitter at Walk Off Podcast, on Instagram, the Walk Off Podcast. And if you are watching on YouTube currently and you're not subscribed, we'd really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. All the best, everybody. Cheers.